And we're live. Hey, everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about Plastic Free July. And it looks like Danielle from Surfrider Ventura is just about to join us.
Hello.
Hey, Danielle, how's it going?
Pretty well. How are you?
Good. How's the first day of your Plastic Free July off
It's
to?
going really well. Thanks. How's yours?
It's good. Yeah. I took the easy approach of just not buying anything, and then I didn't even have to think about whether I was using plastic or not.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. I did that
Yeah,
too. Made coffee at home, made my own lunch, used reusable Tupperware, all that stuff. So it makes it a lot
nice.
easier when you're in control.
Yeah, very cool. All right, well, we can maybe wait a couple minutes while more people join, but I'll just say we're going to talk about some ways that you can reduce your plastic use for Plastic Free July. And I'm going to ask Danielle a bunch of questions. If we don't answer your question, feel free to just drop it in the comments there. And if you have any tips of your own on how you can avoid plastic use or go plastic free, drop those in the comments too. And Danielle and I will look at them and shout out our favorite ones.
Sounds great.
Okay, so for everybody that is joining us, I'm Lars Davenport, Environmental Specialist for the City of Ventura, and our special guest tonight is Danielle Rose. Danielle's a executive committee member for Surfrider Ventura, and she's also the co-lead of the Ventura beach cleanups for Surfrider and a core volunteer for Plastic Free Ventura. So Danielle's a great resource for helping you go plastic free, and happy to have her. Hi, Danielle.
Hello. Thanks for having us. We're excited to launch Plastic Free July off with you guys.
Yeah. So to start off, can you give us a little bit of background on what is the Surfrider Foundation and tell us about Surfrider Ventura?
Yeah, so the Surfrider Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and we are dedicated to the protection and enjoyment of the world's ocean, beaches, and waves for all people through our powerful activist network. We are fueled by our motivated volunteers. They run our campaigns and programs, and we're able to have such a huge impact locally because of our volunteers. We were founded in 1984 by a group of motivated surfers in Malibu who were concerned about how coastal development was going to impact their perfect wave. And so they stood up, they helped make changes, and they saved that perfect wave. And since then have saved so many more waves and coastal resources since 1984. There have been 82 chapters just in the US alone formed. There are 86 high school clubs and more than 1 million supporters in the US. And now there's a worldwide network of Surfrider chapters that are working and fighting the good fight. And the Ventura chapter, we were founded in 1991. So next year we're coming up on 30 years. Hopefully next year we'll be able to celebrate in person and see everyone's smiling faces. But a lot of people just associate the Surfrider Foundation with doing beach cleanups, but there's so much more to it than that. A lot of it happens behind the scenes, not with a big blue pop-up tent at the promenade. So I just wanted to go over what we're working on locally. We primarily focus on plastic pollution, protecting ocean ecosystems, ensuring beach access, preserving our coastlines, and protecting clean water. So we do that through our programs and campaigns. One of those is the Blue Water Task Force. It's volunteer run. We work with high school students at Foothill and monitor water quality when the county drops off in the winter months at 5 different locations. We've got our Plastic Free Ventura campaign, which is targeting single-use plastics, really focusing in on expanded polystyrene foam, aka styrofoam, and then going after plastics and other bioplastics. We've got our Hold On to Your Butt campaign, which we collect at beach cleanups and in our ash cans around town. We get cigarette butts and give them to TerraCycle to be recycled. If you've ever sat at that nice bench that's overlooking the playground by the pier, that bench is made out of recycled cigarette butts. So thanks to the city for helping with that. We've got our ocean-friendly restaurant program, trying to minimize plastic to-go-ware and cutlery and things like that. So they commit to 5 criteria and then choose 2 others from a list. There's more information on our website, but definitely support our 8 ocean-friendly restaurants while we are dealing with COVID-19 if you can. And we've got ocean-friendly garden programs, so encouraging businesses and residents to get the storm water and capture it on their property. So using water efficient landscaping and also trying to percolate it into the ground instead of running off into the ocean. And then big one is the Matilaha Dam removal and managed retreat project at Surfers Point. So as you can see, there's a lot going on, not just at the beach. So definitely get involved if any of those things spark your interest.
Awesome. Yeah, Surfrider does a ton. And a couple or a number of the programs you mentioned revolve around plastic. And so since we are in the first day of Plastic Free July, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so Plastic Free July actually started as like a local campaign in Western Australia back in 2011, which I just discovered, which is super cool because I've actually lived there. So go Western Australia. But it kind of started this global movement, and several cities started taking it on and encouraging their citizens to really focus in on their single-use plastic consumption and trying to find alternatives. So it's just 31 days in July to really focus on what you can do in your personal life, making changes and actions, and then hopefully it is something that becomes a habit and sticks with you far past July. So excited to see all of the plastic that we can prevent in just 1 month.
Yeah, and if you go plastic free for a month, you're probably going to create habits that you can continue for a long time. So yeah, definitely everybody should take this opportunity to give it a try, and it'd probably be easier than you think.
Yeah, most definitely. I hope
Yeah.
everyone joins on.
Yeah. So we know that COVID-19 has disrupted everything. Can you talk a little bit about how COVID has affected local plastic pollution?
Yeah, so there's been a lot more plastic pollution and single-use items that we're seeing as litter around town due to concerns about cross-contamination. The governor at the end of April suspended SB 270 temporarily, which is the California plastic bag ban. And so it was a 60-day suspension, and thankfully that was up on June 24th. So although for 60 days, the grocery stores and food retailers were handing out those really thin single-use plastic bags again, now they should be charging 10 cents for the thicker, more reusable, durable kinds. So we are starting to see those plastic bags that marine life often confuses for jellyfish littering the streets. So just be really cautious of the fact that, if you're going grocery shopping, you can bring your own bags to certain stores, but also just be prepared for putting items back in your cart, taking them back to your car and bagging them yourselves, just so you can try to reduce those single-use plastics that have come about. And then also, unfortunately, with all of the personal protective equipment that we're using with masks and latex gloves, those are also now a new source of litter on our beaches. And so we've adapted our beach cleanup national data cards that we use, and we're going to try to track that going into the future and see how much of an impact those items are having. So if you've got a reusable mask, wash it and reuse it, but definitely stay safe and just be aware of these items.
Yeah, I will be interested to see that data because it just seems like walking around and driving around, you see masks everywhere and more gloves than normal too. Yeah, so Let's see.
Yeah.
And then just touching on the grocery bag issue. So the grocery bag ban is back on, but that doesn't mean that grocery stores have to let you bring your reusable bags in. It's going to be store to store dependent. So some places will let you bring your reusable bags in and bag it yourself. Some places won't even let you bring your reusable bags in. So you can either choose to do what you said, which is don't bring a bag at all, put the items in your cart, take your cart out to your car and load them up there. Or you can choose to shop at grocery stores that do let you bring your own reusable bags and just, whatever works best for you.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of
Yeah.
gotta deal with it as it's presented to you, but you can find the places where you can eliminate the need for those for sure.
Yeah. I saw somebody sent me a picture from Trader Joe's today, and they have a sign posted saying we are charging for our paper bags, but we're happy to put the items in your cart, directly in your cart for you. So
Oh, that's great.
yeah, yeah. Um, so you already talked about a couple of the big things that people can do to reduce plastic pollution. Do you have additional recommendations? So maybe a couple of the really big ones that we should all be doing, and maybe a couple of the less common ones that people that really want to be go-getters can do.
Yeah, so I think that one of the main things that we can focus on right now is right now in order to, stimulate the local economy and support local businesses, we're ordering more takeout than we might do on a normal basis. So just getting in the habit of, if you're putting in an online order or phone order, requesting for no single-use plastic utensils to be added to your food to-go orders is huge. And then once you get in that habit, it just becomes a part of the routine of getting food. And also, if you're going to be eating out, you can always bring your own. You just have to make sure that you let the wait staff know that you have it, because even pre-COVID, sometimes if they were to bring utensils to your table, once they touch the table, they can't take them back due to contamination issues. So that's going to be even more watched now due to COVID-19. So, and then just if you work at a restaurant, just being aware of the fact that it would be great to only give them upon request. We're going to start trying to encourage restaurants to commit to doing that, since we don't know how long this pandemic is going to be with us. So we want to try to minimize the long-term impacts that that has. Yeah, and then just to mention, if you could tell people what they can do with their single-use plastic bags if they did get them during COVID or have a stash of them under their sink somewhere, how should they dispose
Yeah,
of those?
yeah. So again, so this is taking, we're trying to avoid plastic bags, but inevitably we all end up with some, and you can't recycle those in your blue bin at home, but you can take them into grocery stores that give out plastic bags. They will have receptacles usually at the front of the store where you can drop those off. And what happened with COVID is a lot of grocery stores took those bins away because there was concerns of contamination. Um, what I've heard is some grocery stores now have those bins out again. Uh, your local grocery store may still be accepting plastic bags or it may not be, but we're in that transition period. So if your grocery store that you go to every week is not accepting them, just keep your bags at home, crumple up all your plastic bags, put them into a bigger bag and hold on to it for a couple weeks or a month as things normalize, and there should be a local grocery store that can take them pretty soon. So we will be sure Sustainable Ventura will get the word out about where they're taking plastic bags locally once things stabilize. But for now, just try to avoid them and then hold on to them for the time being.
Yeah, thanks for encouraging them to wait until we can recycle them properly. Another thing that people can do is kind of just take the 31 days to do a kind of a home audit. Or, if you run out of something during the month of July, instead of just running and grabbing a replacement item, just think about the life cycle of that item from cradle to grave, where it's going. You run out of dish soap, maybe instead of just grabbing another plastic bottle, you venture off and explore the refill shop, and you can, make your own custom one with a fun scent and refill that plastic bottle so that it's not just a single-use thing, or find a cool vintage bottle and fill that up. So just finding alternatives and, looking at what you're putting in the trash and why that is.
Yeah, that's great advice. Some of our local green businesses make it really easy to go green, reduce your single-use plastic use. If you're dining at a green restaurant or getting takeout from a green restaurant, they should not be giving you any single-use plastic. If you go shop at the refill shop, that's an easy way to avoid it. So yeah, some great resources, and you're supporting good local businesses that are doing good things for our environment. Any other tips for ways that people can reduce plastic use at home? Like, I know, like, what about reducing Ziploc bags? Do you have any tips for that?
Oh yeah, I have some zero waste items here, but I didn't grab a stasher bag. But there
Okay.
are silicone reusable bags that you can throw in the dishwasher. You can boil them, you can freeze them. So that's a great alternative, and you can purchase that at the refill shop or other retailers. I think they're even at Target nowadays. But so that's a super easy swap. You can also, if you are dining out, I have found this to be a super great investment. It's a reusable to-go container.
Nice.
Me forever. So you also eat significantly less food if you have this and you're not trying to scarf it down. But that way, if you end up at a place that isn't ocean friendly and does have styrofoam, then you're not, debating between food waste and plastic waste and stuff like that. So just trying to be prepared with a little sort of zero waste kit, your water bottle, some utensils, to-go container, and then yeah, just refill as much as possible. Be aware of the materials that your items are made out of and how to properly dispose of them. And I think that there will be some really easy swaps that people can make.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. So if you have questions about how to properly dispose of certain material types, the city has an app called Recycle Coach. It's a free app, and there's a what goes where feature in the app. So if you're wondering what you do with plastic bags, you type plastic bag into the search bar, and it'll tell you what to do with those. So that can be a really helpful resource when you're deciding what to buy, or when you're deciding where to throw away whatever item you're looking to throw away. And
Yeah.
then you mentioned styrofoam or EPS, and I saw a question in the comments about encouraging restaurants to reduce styrofoam use. So City Council, with encouragement from Surfrider, has instructed city staff to look into drafting a styrofoam ban for the city. So that's in the works, and it should make it to City Council relatively soon, probably within a month or so, but you never know how those things go. So we will probably have a vote on the styrofoam ban in the near future, and 6 months or so after that, the ban may be in place. So that's we may not have to worry about individually trying to get restaurants to move away from them. It may be a city ordinance relatively soon. If it doesn't pass, then consumer pressure is always good to try to get businesses to make right decisions.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
And then Danielle, I know you have a great Instagram account for reducing single-use plastic use. And can you maybe tell us about that and some other accounts people can follow for innovative ways to avoid single-use plastics?
Yeah, so I made an Instagram account for my low waste journey back in 2017, following a plastic-free July, where I realized how easy it was to make a lot of changes in my life. So if you'd like to follow that account, I try to post different resources that I find in the 805 for living a lower waste lifestyle. But there are several bloggers and authors that are extremely inspiring. There is Bea Johnson. She is the author of Zero Waste Home, and that's also her Instagram handle as well. She is incredible. She's been zero waste since 2008, and in 1 year, her family fills up a jar this big, and that's all the trash that they produce. So she
Wow.
is extremely motivating, and the way that she talks about the transition is really encouraging. Her way of going about it is when people started asking her, why are you putting things in these jars and not using our containers? She was educating, but also just started saying, I don't have a trash can. Why does it matter? It's easy, it's doable, and anybody can do it. And I know with COVID-19, taking a jar to, the meat and cheese counter might not be something we're able to do for a while, but just knowing that there are people out there that have pretty much made their plastic footprint almost nothing is really inspiring, especially for a family to be able to do that in their household. And then if you like cooking, there is a Zero Waste Chef account. It's Anne Marie, and she'll show you how to make your own kombucha and sourdough, things that you can do to have a zero waste kitchen. She's been zero waste since 2011. So there are incredible resources online. If you look up the hashtag Plastic Free July, zero waste lifestyle, low waste lifestyle, you'll find tons of inspiration.
Nice. Thank you. Yeah, those are great resources. And then what's your Instagram handle again?
Plastic Free by the Sea.
Plastic Free by the Sea. Nice. Yeah, definitely give that one a follow too. You mentioned taking reusables into the grocery store, which made me remember one thing we talked about previously. It's hard to find produce at the grocery store without single-use plastic. Either it comes already wrapped in the plastic or you're grabbing one of those single-use plastic bags off the roll for your produce. There are a couple different ways that you can avoid plastic in those situations. One is you can bring reusable produce bags. The city gives those out because we haven't been going to in-person events in a while. We haven't had the chance to pass those out, but maybe we'll do a giveaway through Instagram, and people can come pick them up. But those are great. They're washable. They'll last forever. And then another thing you can do is just avoid the grocery store produce section completely and join a local CSA. That's a great way. Every week I go pick up a cardboard box from a local green business full of delicious local produce and practically zero plastic in there. You may get like little wraps here and there, but pretty much no plastic that way. So that's another way you can do it.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation.
Um, Danielle, any other tips? Anything you've thought of for people to reduce their plastic use?
Um, Definitely subscribe if you can to the Surfrider monthly newsletter. We just put one out today about Plastic Free July with some great resources, but also plasticfreejuly.org is great. They are sending out weekly inspirational newsletters, and they have it broken down to different areas of your life where you can reduce plastic consumption. So at work, at school, at home, and they have different rooms of the house. So if you're really trying to find some help with the transition, you can utilize their website. And they have tons of documentaries. I think they've got at least 8 documentaries that might help fuel your Plastic Free July.
Nice, nice. Yeah, and while we're at it, I'll give a shout out for our Sustainable Ventura newsletter. You can sign up via a link in our bio, and we have some good information on all environmentally related things that are happening in Ventura, including plastic reduction. So yeah, definitely check out all those resources. Um, so you mentioned a ton of projects that Surfrider has going on locally. What are ways that people can get involved?
So right now, we can't have our big chapter meetings and in-person beach cleanups where we're able to have a huge impact on a monthly basis. So we are encouraging people to go out and do solo beach cleanups. So one person, one household, go out, collect trash, and if you could send us photos of it and fill out our data card, with the added COVID-19 section as well. That would be awesome for us to input into our database and track these trends over time, especially with the temporary suspension of SB 270 and all the PPE we're seeing around town. So that's one way to get involved and have an impact while we're unable to get together.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just going to look through these questions, see if we have any more. Let us know how we can support the vote. So I believe Surfrider put out an action alert surrounding the EPS ban vote. So contact Surfrider, maybe just you can DM the Instagram account and they can connect you to that.
Yeah, and if you see styrofoam around town, make sure to send us photos of that too, just so that we can show that it is a local issue.
I'm seeing a suggestion to buy glass containers instead of plastic containers for leftovers. That's a great one. Then you can heat it up right in your glass container also. Let's see, that might be all of the questions. I think you did too good of a job for, you already answered all the questions. Okay, let's see. Give the Surfrider IG your website again. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So Surfrider VC is our Instagram handle, and then we're ventura.surfrider.org for our chapter's website. And if you go to the top, you can find a way to subscribe to our newsletter.
Great. And then I see the question, are grocery stores allowing reusable produce bags right now? It sounds like some grocery stores are allowing reusable bags and others are not. So you'll have to check with your grocery store and see what they'll let you do. All right. Well, thank you so much. Any last questions from the audience? I don't see any. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Danielle. This was great. And happy plastic-free July, everybody. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good luck, everyone.
All right. Bye.
Bye.